Okay, we are live. I don't know why I wanted to clap them, but I'm clapping. There we go. Maybe it's
Because we
oh
always
yes,
do.
we did it. Oh my goodness. Heather Nichols, welcome, my wonderful friend. How are you?
Oh, I'm everything. How are
I,
you?
I'm good. I mean, I'm at Elogar, so I'm like,
Yeah.
I know I should have a problem, but I don't.
Good. Good,
So
good,
that's
good.
and it's like, and we're supposed to have Anthony Mattis on here with us, but he ghosted us. So for
He ghosted
everyone out there
us.
listening to this, I want you to message him privately and just be like, dude, what's up? What happened to you today?
Tony.
If
Tony.
you,
What's going
if
on,
you have his
Tony?
phone number, call him. Just do whatever you can to make him know that he should have been here.
This is the place to be right now.
This
You
is
know.
totally the place to be right now. So we're talking about access consciousness, and that you're an access certified facilitator, and the foundation class. What's a foundation class for you?
Oh man. A complete universe changer. Like I feel like I think about this a lot because when I took my first foundation, I think it was 2012.
Uh,
And I had taken my first bars class in 2010. Um, and it had my bars run and stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. And it was funny because I was actually like, that clearing statement thing, that's just weird. I'm never going to use that. Like, but I love the bars.
uh,
Um, but then I took foundation and I didn't think I could afford it. And I was like, can I do a payment plan? And so I ended up like giving my facilitators like 4 checks because, checks were a thing at that point in time, um, to cash like every month kind of a deal. And 3 weeks after the foundation class, I called up the facilitator and I was like, you can cash all the checks. And
wow.
it just like probably the biggest moment of my life where there's a very distinct before and after. And it's like my life was a certain way, and then I like did whatever it took to get to foundation, brought my kids with me. It was a my life was a bit of a shit show at that time. I didn't really know it. But looking back now, I'm like, whoa. And from that class on, everything changed. Everything changed. And it continues to every day. It's an amazing class to take again and again and again to facilitate. Like it's just kind of like all the tools that you need to create a phenomenal life, they're in that class.
Totally agree with you on that. And
Yeah.
I like that you said, you know, why would I want to use the clearing statement? All these weird tools. I've got the bars, which is basically, it's kind of the energy of what I created this for, because there's millions of people around the world at this point that have taken up that run bars, or have taken a bars class. And I think a lot of us have that. It's like, oh my God, some space finally.
Yeah.
I don't need to use all that weird shit. But it's all that weird shit that made so much sense to me energetically when I came along to the foundation class. I was just like, oh my God, this is like even the stuff about entities. Because for me, like I had
Yeah.
done my best to be a normal, um, Aussie dude. I'm just a normal dude.
Normal bloke.
Normal bloke. And it's like, but the stuff with entities, I'd been aware of that stuff my whole life, but it's like you talking about that to anyone,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
just blew me away. It blew me away the open the openness of it as well. I was having a conversation with Gary Douglas last night, and I was telling him, I was like, I really like the call that you did the other day. He does a monthly thing, Conversations in Consciousness. I think you're on it. And he was like, oh yeah, how so? What'd you like about it? I said, I just like how honest you are. Like he addresses everything openly. And for me, that's what access is.
Yeah.
It's just honest. It's like, here you go. Like,
Yeah.
and I think if I could, man, one of the greatest gifts for me that I would say that I've gotten from Access, but I'm going to say that I'm getting from Access is that honesty with myself.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love that. I was actually just having a conversation with somebody today about vulnerability,
Oh yeah.
and she doesn't do Access or like know the tools at all. And she was like, I'm totally cool being vulnerable. She's like, this is me. I'm here, you know. And I was like, yeah. And like, what about vulnerability with yourself, you know? And I know you, Brendan, have really taken a big dive into that universe, as have I. And we've both had, you know, things in our lives where we've needed to go there. And that was basically the only place to go. You know, is getting really real with ourselves and really vulnerable with ourselves. I would say I'm actually there right now in a lot of ways, just from some things that I've been asking to change, you know. And so there's no like arrival with that, you know, there's always more. And when you're really willing to lower your barriers with yourself, oh my God, what can, you know, it's not the easiest thing, but we have these amazing tools and access, and we have the 5 elements of intimacy, which is in the foundation class, which is like one of my absolute favorite conversations and tools that I use it every day with me. Um, and and that is um I mean, everything going on in our lives that isn't working is basically a result of somewhere where we're not really willing to be present and honest with ourselves.
Yeah, agree with that
That's
totally.
what it all boils down to, you know?
And that's the the seed for a more conscious life. Like, you can't have consciousness if you're not willing to have honesty, you know,
True.
and that with
So true.
yourself. And
Yeah.
I like the part that you said also about, you know, with the both of us, we've, you know, I've watched you go through things, you've watched me go through things, and it's like, but the thing you said was we needed to go there. And I think that's when you begin to realize you have choice, is when you just know, you just, I have to do this, and it sucks and I don't want to, and you know, and it's whatever
Mhm.
the emotional side or the doubt or all of those things that come up are, your demand for more of you outweighs it all.
Yes, totally, totally. And, you know, that's the cool thing is that when you have a demand for more of you that outweighs it all, and you're willing to really prioritize, like show up as the adult of consciousness, you know, and be like, okay, there's something I'd like to have or change, or, you know, a way of living or being or whatever, or a world I would like to see, you know, which is
Hmm.
a direct result of us choosing more with ourselves. You know, and it's like when you just go there with you know, and sometimes you need some help with that, you know, figuring out like exactly what that looks like, or, you know, what you need to look at. But but it is like it's kind of both for me, it's kind of both that thing that you said of like, I don't necessarily want to go here. And at the same time, like I'm so excited to go here because I know I feel like for me, the one of the muscles that's really developed over the years using these tools, um, is knowing that every single time I open a Pandora's box in my own world of like, oh my God. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm in it right now. I just opened the box a couple days ago and I'm like, holy shit, I didn't know that was there, you know? But it's so uncomfortable and it's also so exciting because I know
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, this has been stopping. This is where I've been stopping me.
Yep.
And I finally have some stuff to work with here and access and change and clear. Use that crazy clearing statement, you know, that I said I would never use, that I use all the
Now
time.
you use it like every second word is ever
Totally.
talking and body.
Totally.
Yeah.
Because I'm also willing to do what works, you know?
Yeah.
And that's like it works. And I saw that. I saw that quickly, you know. I was like, this thing freaking works. And why would I not, you know?
Well, that's the other thing though, doing what works is it's of course you're going to do what works. And then it's like it's finding those things that work for you, and it's like if it works, why not do it?
Yeah.
You know, I love also that that description of like when you're so uncomfortable, you know it's going to get more uncomfortable, but you're also excited to do it.
Yeah.
Like that thing of we have so misidentified fear as excitement as fear. Because I do the
Mhm.
same thing where I'm like, oh, I know what I've misidentified fear as. I've misidentified it as my life expanding, and I can perceive my life expanding. So I go to this, like, I know that energy, but I think a
Yeah.
lot of us do that when it's like when you
Mm.
feel the bigness, meaning you also, in order to, I guess it's also, well, let me backtrack a bit. Is the tagline of Access is empowering you to know that you know. So just in that, beginning to know that you have knowing, it's also in that stepping into a bigger life or more choice is we also know in order to step into and become more of who we are, our relationships are going to change.
For
Our
sure. Yeah.
connections to people are going to change. The way that we
Yeah.
see ourselves is going to change. The way, all of that's going to change. And that the willingness to have change is, that's what excites me. I know for a lot of it, that's what makes life worth living. I grew up, my father was just like, he was such an interesting creature. He didn't want anything to change. Right? Why would you even move a piece of furniture?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
don't change. Why are you
Yeah.
changing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the human reality, this reality, whatever you want to call it, like the reality of no change,
Yeah.
is is what like everybody is looking to solidify everything in place so they don't have to be present. They don't have like change is really seen as a major inconvenience and really like you have to have a problem in order to change,
Yeah.
and I mean, we could have a huge conversation about that, how we create problems to create change because we think we have to do that, which is not true. Pock and pod, all that.
Yeah. Pock and pot, all
um,
that. Use Heather's favorite words on it. Pock and pot.
yeah. But it's interesting to look because, access consciousness is really it is for the humanoids of the world, like the seekers, the people who are different, the people who
The
see
weirdos.
possibilities, the weirdos, yeah. And and the humanoids love change actually. Like we
Yeah.
thrive on it, but it's like it's a whole different universe of just like playing with choice and change and possibilities and asking questions and all these things that keep things dynamic and alive and changing and shifting all the time, like living from that space is a very different choice. It really requires a very different set of tools. And the access tools, and specifically the ones in the foundation class, are the most elegant toolbox for the humanoids of the world. And I
I
would
totally
say
agree with you.
that, for me, you and I both take lots of classes. We're in these conversations all day long, every day. It's our life. Like it's a huge part of our life, right? And I know for me, every class that I take, every conversation that I have, it expands the way that I embody and live the tools that are in the foundation class. Like Maestro class, 6-day class, like really advanced classes, all of that expands my being the tools that are in foundation.
Yeah. I agree totally. And I had like four other things that I wanted to say, and whatever you just said
Sorry,
wiped my head out.
I went on a long
No,
tangent.
no, but whatever you said, it erased what I was going to say. So there you go. Welcome to how that works.
Being an energetic creature.
Yeah, I was just like, well, that's gone.
Yeah.
But it's also, so you and I talked before we got on this, and I said to you, oh man, you're killing it. Like so Heather was telling me basically how she's got a house in Mexico. She's got the new house that she bought. And she's like, well, that's not how it feels. Like, I can't remember how you said it, but I'm only bringing it up because my life is far from perfect.
Yeah, totally.
And I want to make this point because it's so interesting as well. I was looking at this thing on social media. Don't ask me why I was looking at this thing, but it just caught my attention. And it was like, basically, oh, you don't have to work anymore. You can do this now. You basically start an online course and you get your ideas from ChatGPT.
AI.
You do your videos through this AI thing. You do the voiceovers, this AI. There was 3 different programs it was recommending. Basically, you had to have zero creativity and make zero choices in order to create an online product. And I was like, wow, that's with this. But I don't even know why I'm bringing that part up. But this idea also, it took me quite a while to get over this, to even using the access tools to get my life more right or create some sense of perfection. Because what I've found is in all of these things where it sucks, or it's like, or it's challenging, or you're not having an easy time with it, when you can recognize they always create something truer, something greater, something bigger, something. So I just dobbed on you, and I'm sorry about that, but
you what?
I dobbed on you. Is that
you dobbed on me?
Yeah. Do Americans say that? So
I don't know what that means.
So I'm going to tell you. So dobbed on you means like I told on you, like I snitched. I snitched.
That's funny. Oh, you told everybody that my life isn't perfect.
No, I just thought it was funny, and it was like, but there you go.
No, it's so true. I mean, and I think it's a great thing to share, because like, I mean, I think we all see each other in a certain light, and and people have ideas about, I mean, like what it is to, like, I mean, we we have had 4 houses until a couple days ago, or actually we are just getting rid of 2 houses tomorrow. We're selling one and moving out of another, and I'm like, having 4 houses is like like, it's a pain in the fucking ass, like,
I bet
for it. Tony,
hey guys,
are we
I just down for 5 o'clock.
And Maestro is never late.
Are we undoing the top button now? Is that what's?
Oh, my pecs are just getting so large for my workouts.
I was just wondering what's happening. Like, if you're coming on with that unbuttoned, I was like, well, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, Brendan, you're definitely looking a little prudish over there.
You have a beard there? Let me see. You have a beard? God, I haven't seen you in forever.
I know, I love it.
Look at that, man.
Wow. That's great.
Nice. You look like the wise man now.
Yeah.
We were just talking about how life isn't perfect, even when it might appear to be from the outside.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's. So I know both of you, and that's. I mean, one of the things I would like to see in the world, and as our world, is far more of that, far more of what is true with people. Like, I mean, I show up on things and I'm like, hey, I'm an access facilitator. I'm also a recovering alcoholic. I'm 4 years sober. I have struggled with so many things in my life. I've made so many bad choices, and here I am, and it's like, for me, when I hear Heather talking about what's going on with, hey, this is the way I've gotten out of this. It was really hard and I really wanted to judge myself or whatever, and here's how I got out of it. Or Anthony with what's going on in his life. That's a conversation I want to listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. You know, like, gosh, back in the early days, whenever I chose to start on my journey, not with Access, even just like my own spiritual, philosophical journey, like over 30 years ago, I think I had this point of view that, you know, you somehow reach this cosmic conscious mountaintop.
Yeah,
And when
I
you
think
get
I had
there,
that too.
you know, it's like, you know, everybody's healed, everybody's, you know, in your life, you know, that you've been trying to save, all of a sudden miraculously gets better. And somehow they don't have choice to create destruction or wonderful, you know, and it's like, oh my God, I really, you know, by the time I got to Access, I knew better. And then, you know, but there is no perfect journey. There is no perfect consciousness journey. And, you know, we all have our struggles and, you know, but it is that thing that Gary says, like, never give in, never give up, never quit. It's like, I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for these amazing tools. That's why I've been sticking around for 14 years. Like every
Yeah.
other modality I'd ever done, I probably lasted anywhere from 1 to 3 years, just because it's like when the shit hit the fan, they didn't work, you know,
Yeah.
when I needed them to, right? And
Yeah.
so, but what I've realized in my personal journaling, now that I have adult children pretty much, 25, 23, and my daughter will be 18 this year. I think my biggest Achilles heel has been, you know, me trying to control them from, let's say, the woes of mental health issues that their mom suffered from. And I think I just overdid it. I overparented, I over educated, I over access consciousness them, I overed everything. And which when you learn about humanoid people, right, when someone tells you to do something, you tend to choose the opposite. So I'm like, don't do this, they went and did it, right? And so a lot of my biggest nightmares and things had come true. And it's been a real kick in the ass, truly,
You
Yeah.
know
for
what?
me.
You know what I love? You know what I love though about all of this is you can have anything been going on, you know, and you start to realize that there's nothing you can't choose different. You know,
Mhm.
it's like it can be. It really is. Okay, yesterday's done.
Yeah.
Okay, I did
Yeah.
all this. I chose all this, and now what? What choice
Well,
do I have today?
I'm going to interrupt because I have to jump off. I have a
Okay.
session, but
Yeah, Tony, you
we
came in at the
should
end. You
we
came in at
should
the last.
like what's that?
I was dobbing on Tony.
Oh. I learned a new word. It's great. But we should continue this. I think the three of us should have an in-depth parenting conversation sometime.
yeah.
So to be continued, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, to be continued, but
Yeah.
behind the scenes.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
You're
Thanks
very welcome.
everybody.
Thank you, Tony.
Bye.
Thank you for
Bye,
your
honey.
thank you for coming on here and blessing us with your presence.
Wait, no, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I got the times mixed up. So,
Don't
but
worry about it.
what I was gonna say is, like, Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, he literally, one of the tools that we use is living in and as an interesting point of view.
Yeah.
And so I had been stuck for the last 7 months, and I haven't felt that stuck and that low since long before Access. I probably would say 15, 16, 17 years ago. And I'm like, oh my God, have I reached the end? Like, you know, in terms of not like my life, but have I reached the end of like what the tools can be and change for me, you know? And I kind of like, there was a part of me that separated a bit, you know? And because it seemed like everything that I had did my very best and try to avoid and prevent it, like I felt like I failed dynamically. So Gary's like, listen, you need to do interesting point of view. And he gave me an assignment that I have never heard in all the 14 years. And he's like, you need to do it for 2 hours nonstop. And I'm like, out loud? And he's like, out loud. And I did. And I sat at my desk in my office, and all that stuck. I was like, interesting point of view. I have this point of view, interesting point of view. And I would say the
Yeah.
issues, interesting point of view. I had the point of view, 2 hours. I got to 90 minutes. It went like that, but that last 30 minutes, I wanted to like jump off a bridge. I'm like, and then all I know is I got out of the chair. I don't know, it's probably 11 o'clock at night. Julia had gotten back from play rehearsal, and she's like, "What have you been doing?" She's like, "You look totally different." I'm like, I don't know. I did interesting point of view for 2 hours out loud, and something went, and I've actually kept my happy for I don't know when that was, but it's been a while. It's been a while.
So there's everyone's homework assignment, but I'm grateful for the reminder too, because there's things like that, like interesting point of view. That as a tool, dude, I love that, and I am very grateful to perceive that lightness in your world. Also, I mean, I think about you all the time. You're always
Thank you.
in
Appreciate
my awareness. So that's cool.
Yeah, no, it was awesome, and yeah, and so there's always like a different version of the tools. There's always a different way to use them, and Gary never ceases to surprise me. I'm like, hey, you've kept that one a secret for the last 14 years, and you know, and he's giving me some other recent things I'd never heard of, like not even in a reference material. He's like, well, I can't give away all my secrets, you know, and then he's like, besides, y'all aren't going to use the tools anyway. He goes, nobody ever listens to
me. Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, and I did it, and it wasn't easy, but
that's cool.
you know, normally it's like do it for 3 days, like you know, but it's kind of like on and off for 6 months, like you know, on and off when you think of it. But like he's like, no, you need to do it 2 hours straight, out loud, and that's it. And then he goes, see what happens. And
the journey continues.
Yeah, and I actually made some choices, and I've had some conversations that I probably wouldn't have had prior to that, which would have kept enabling certain people in my life. And yeah, I'm like, you know, X, Y, and Z has to, I'm not supporting that anymore, you know, and I don't know that I would have had the space to do that if I didn't do that home play.
That's really cool. That's really cool. So, you know, I wanted to mention also, so this is about foundation. We have the Global Foundation coming up in, I don't know, 3 weeks. This class, something about it this year is, if it pops for you, you know, if it sounds like fun, it would be definitely one that I wouldn't miss and I won't be missing. So check it out, or any foundation classes around the world. I mean, they're going on every weekend all around the world. There are a lot of facilitators doing these classes. So check it out. Good to see you, brother.
Yeah, you too. Well, thanks for having me. And again, I apologize for being late there.
Don't worry about it. It's all good.
All right.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Ciao. Bye.